What's up guys, let's check out the HTC One's battery life. I know this is important to a lot of people, so that's why I've made it a separate video. It will of course be included in my full review of this device. Let me tell you a bit about it. It's got a 2,300 milliamp hour battery. It is non-removable guys, so you can't switch it out for another battery. You can't carry a spare one with you. It obviously has a quad-core processor and a 1080p display, so battery life is a bit of a question on this device, but let's find out. So over the weekend, guys, I used it as my proper device. I had a SIM card in it. I was using the 3G. I had all my syncs active. Facebook, Twitter, the Blink feed was always there. Auto sync was on. I was getting Gmails all the time. I was answering them. I was checking out YouTube. I was using the browser. I was using it as my normal device, and I wanted to see just how well it did in battery life. And I took some screenshots, and let's check it out. In terms of brightness, guys, I did have it on auto brightness. I do like HTC's auto brightness. It does pretty damn well, but let's check it out. So we'll go into the gallery here, guys, and I unplugged this from my charger at about 8 AM and I used it throughout the full day. And you can see here it got 14 hours, 19 minutes, 36 seconds, and it wasn't even empty. It was actually, when I went back to bed, at 59%. So I didn't bother putting it on charge. And you can see here I didn't have power saver or sleep mode enabled. I was actually very, very impressed with the battery life. Now, a little bit about the usage on this day, guys. This was predominantly 90% on Wi-Fi. So that's probably why it's so damn good. You can see it hardly dropped at all. Now, the second day I used it, I didn't actually use Wi-Fi at all. I was completely on 3G. Just a quick note, you can see here the awake and screen on time. HTC have actually taken off the screen on time in usage. I can't tell you how many hours of screen on time I used. It's just not available for some reason. I don't know why. But you can see it was awake a lot more than the screen was actually on. I guess that's due to syncs like Blink feed and stuff like that. But yeah, you can see this was 12 PM at night and 59%. So I didn't bother putting it back on charge, guys. And okay, this is the second day I used it. When it got down to 10%, I did turn on power saver mode, which downclocks the CPU, turns off vibrate, dims the screen, basically saves you a hell of a lot of power. So I did that. You can see here, it actually lasted till 5% for a day, 8 hours, 20 minutes, and 24 seconds. Now, if I show you the graph here, guys, you can see this section of the graph is the first day. This massive line here is night. This is when I was asleep doing nothing. And this part of the day here, guys, is the second day. And like I said, I was 90%, pretty much 99% actually, I should say, on 3G. And it did pretty damn well. So I think you're easily going to get through a day with this device at its full potential. No power saver modes. If you're on 3G all day, use it for WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, you know, calling, all that sort of stuff. You will easily get through a day and a half probably. You'll probably get back to your charger with around 30% if you used it completely on 3G. I was very impressed. I didn't expect this sort of battery life because Sense is usually quite a hog. And if I show you the battery life right now, by the way, you can see there my Google Now was on. I was using all the services available. I was using, you know, everything you can think of, I had it on. You know, Google Now, all the syncs were on. If I hit into usage here, guys, you can see the top one is always HTC Sense. So HTC Sense does in fact take quite a lot of your battery. Pretty obvious considering, you know, it's Blink feed, it's doing all that stuff in the background that HTC Sense does. Can be a little bit annoying, but I was very impressed with the battery life. It did very well. You know, it's got an amazingly bright screen. It's got an amazingly sharp screen. Colors are brilliant. It didn't seem to phase it, you know. It had a 1.7 gigahertz processor that I only downclocked right at the end when it got to 10%. And that is what power saver mode does, guys. It downclocks from 1.7, I believe, to 1.18. So quite a lot of downclock, but you don't notice too much of a performance hit, if I'm completely honest. So, yeah, very impressed with the battery life here, guys. If there's anything else you want to know, let me know. Like I said, this was my usage. It could differ with you. I didn't play any games. So if you play a lot of games, you'll probably see a lot less battery life. You know, I use this how I normally use my phone. Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, browsing, YouTube, Gmails, a few calls, stuff like that is what I used it for. And it got me through the day, got me through a day and a half easily. So yeah. Pretty good damn battery performance on the HTC One. Just as a side note, guys, I checked out GSM Arena's HTC One battery life comparison, and it scores the highest in terms of use when using a browser. It actually beats the iPhone at saving battery when using a browser. I think it lasts for 9 hours, at 9 hours 20 minutes. I think the iPhone lasted for 9 hours and 10 minutes, something like that. But nonetheless, very, very good battery performance from this 2000 milliamp hour battery in the HTC One. Hope this helps you make your choice on this device, whether you want it or not. Peace out.